Jenny Jupiter, hello. How art thou? How art thou on this fine Halloween afternoon? It's afternoon where we at, you know what I'm saying? We got Mara in the building. We got Mike Boy in the building. And it's morning where you two are at. But it is indeed the afternoon where Jenny Jupiter and I reside. I'm feeling pretty good today. I'm feeling pretty good. One day at a time, man. One day at a time. And it is Halloween. I don't have any fun, spooky plans this evening. Unfortunately, I'm too broke to go out. But it's all good. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? Because I got food in the fridge. I got a place to stay. And I got a good path ahead of me, man. I got a strong community around me. Things are coming along. Yes. Yes, we got Bibliophile, we got Distracted Gardener, we got Aztec Dragon. We got Allegra in the building. Oh. And we got some funky music in the background. You know what I mean? You know, I still can't believe, well, I guess I can believe. Maybe some of why Candace Owens is such a miserable person is because she doesn't enjoy music. And we're going to talk a little bit about Candy Owie today. You know, a quick little snippet of Candy Owie. We're gonna go in. We got a couple of things today, a couple of things to discuss, as we often do. And we got some really good smooth music in the background. You said you got big treat bags. Yeah, that's gonna be fun, man. Trick or treating used to be so much fun as a kid. I hope y'all get a lot of trick or treaters. I hope they cool. They used to be such a good time, man, back in the day. Now, what's gonna be our puff song? I got to get some more tree pretty quick. I'm running out. Let's see what we gonna do. What's gonna be the puff song? Here we go. This is the puff song. Yes. Yes, indeed. Man, they better say thank you. Shit. They better say thank you. All the work you putting in. You know what? That wasn't quite as good of a hit as I thought it was going to be because I forgot to put the weed in there. That's kind of important. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of important. You need the weed. I had a little bit of weed in there, but not a sufficient amount. It wasn't sufficient. So let's take one more. Now we ready. All right. Now we good to go. All right, my good people. Let us get into today's goodies. Fritza, hello. We got Queen Fritza in the building. Now, where shall we? Where shall we begin? Let's see. We got quite a bit of stuff. Quite a bit of choices to go over today. Hmm. All right. Well, we might as well just start off with these. Brother Vincent, what's going on? Oh, actually, Fritza. Well, I do have laundry I need to do, but we're not yet in dire times. You know what I'm saying? We're not quite to the point where it's really bad. I just feel like having on a tank top right now. I actually do have a variety of shirts, but I need to wash some. I do need to go to the laundromat. So we're getting close. We are getting close. Woo! All right, let's get into it. Donald Trump mocked after getting sidetracked about LeBron James's endorsement of Hillary Clinton. Didn't LeBron endorse her in 2016? Okay, hold on. Let's see. We just gonna go in a row today. We gonna go in order today.
So remember, Ben, when LeBron James endorsed Hillary? Now, Hillary is small. She's small.
Hillary's small.
And they stood on a stage, and Hillary came slightly below his belt. I said, that's the greatest endorsement I've ever seen. This was not a good endorsement. This was not good. This was not good. Now let's get back to our subject at hand. That was a good day. I will not give one penny to any school that.
What was he about to say? They cut it off right when he said when it sounded like he was about to say something that was actually worth tuning into. He said, "I will not give a single penny to any school." What was he about to say? Some transgender, some transphobia shit or something. The schools are trying to turn your daughters into boys and your sons into girls. Like, I guess that's what he was going to say, but who knows? Carrying on down the line. Uh, yes, he absolutely does. Uh, all right, let's see what's up. Hmm. Kissinger. Kissinger says his family disowned him over loss of Hannity's trust. We gotta have Sean Hannity on board. If you don't have Sean Hannity in your corner, then I'm gonna disown you. Former Rep. Adam Kissinger said he was disowned by his family after he left Congress and lost the trust of Fox News host Sean Hannity. Quote, so I had family that sent a certified letter disowning me. They sent this man a certified formal letter of disownment. They sent this man a formal letter of disownment saying you are no longer a part of the family. Quote, they said, I've lost the trust of great men like Sean Hannity, which is funny, but they believe that. They said I was a member of the devil's army. Damn, that's rough, man. Obviously that would have to be difficult to go through. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, me and my family don't talk because I don't worship Donald Trump. These people are committed. You ain't never seen nobody as committed as them. Nah, and you know what? It's always funny too, like because political extremists never think that they're extreme. This is pretty extreme. The prominent critic of former President Trump said his decision to leave Congress over his disagreements with the GOP caused waves of death threats against himself and his family. Quote, we had people that would call and threaten to kill my at the time 5-month-old child. Okay, I see. Or say they wish he would die. The former congressman was previewing in his new book, Renegade, which was released Tuesday. Kissinger also said it's a tough question whether he still considers himself a Republican. Quote, I do, only in that because I don't want to give up on that fight, and this country needs two healthy parties, a healthy Democratic Party and a healthy Republican. So I'm not going to give up that title. Man, imagine being disowned by your family because Sean Hannity doesn't like you. Imagine that. Right, and he ain't even a part of the team no more. Not really. He ain't in there. Oh man. All right. Where we at now? I'm super relaxed today. Very comfortable. Very comfortable. In a good way though. Like I'm chilling. Like I'm good. No, we got 4:30 a.m. tweets from Donald Trump. Well, truths from Donald Trump because he doesn't like to go over there on Twitter too much anymore. Hold up. Matter of fact, let's just see what's up with this real quick. I'm gonna say that for a minute because we got so much stuff to pick up. We got Aaron in the building. You said you got some. Your landlord got some of the shit in the mall. Oh, thank you, Allegra. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Trump roasted for ludicrous claim he could have made deal with Iran had 2020 election not been rigged. And you know what? It's always stuff that you can't bro, you can't prove any of this. Like you could say anything. You could say anything. Like
I would have made free energy and free water for everyone if the election wasn't rigged in 2020.
like you can say that. Like you can okay.
100% of the ISIS territorial caliphate. And I was told that couldn't be done. I was
Mike Nice. What's going on, my brother?
told that would take at least 4 to 5 years, and we couldn't do it. We did it in 4 months. I just want to let you know we have a great military, great generals, the real generals, not the ones you see on television, the real ones. The ones that want to fight, the non-woke generals. We killed the founder and the leader of ISIS. You remember they were looking for him for years and years before I got there. Al-Baghdadi, we killed him. He was gone. We eliminated the world's top terrorist, the most brutal terrorist of them all, the Iranian butcher, Soleimani. We eliminated him. He's the father of the roadside bomb. Whenever you see a soldier or civilian or anybody without the legs, without the arms, he's the one. He caused 94% of it, they say. He loved those roadside bombs. That's what he loved. And he's not with us any longer. Just as I promised, I withdrew from the horrendous Iran nuclear deal. Unfortunately, they didn't do anything with it. They didn't do.
I mean, like, you could say this, but Obama could say that he was in office when Osama got taken out, which is I mean, when it comes to America, a much bigger deal than what he talking about. Like, but there's still plenty of criticism to go around for Obama, especially from you. So, like, how powerful is this really? Hello, we got Lady Punch T. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. You said, "Oh, well, thank you." You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to be on the buffet today. You know what I'm saying? We do got Thanksgiving coming up, so I'm gonna have to be on people's dinner tables this year. You know what I mean? Thank you so much for the $2 super chat again. I appreciate you and I appreciate everybody. We got Soul Life in the building. What's going on? Bro, look at him. But again, like it's like, okay, you can say that, but how much weight does this really hold? It doesn't mean anything. America's still, the most militarized country on the planet. That hasn't changed.
Do anything with it. It was supposed to be. I thought it was my greatest gift to Israel. The problem is this administration did absolutely nothing. They just let them go and they would have never, ever been even close. I mean, they are very close to having a nuclear weapon. Remember Kim Jong-un? We got along with him. Everything was good. If Hillary Clinton got in, you would have had a nuclear war. I got in, and everything was fine. But dealing with Iran is going to be a very big problem. And frankly, North Korea right now is a very big problem also. You see what's happening there. He's not liking this group of people.
Donald Trump never says anything. Like, I mean, not to say that anytime you're giving a speech, you have to elaborate on all of your points, but all Donald Trump ever says is, you see what's happening there. You see what's happening. Like, but he never, ever elaborates. Not ever. Because he's not saying anything.
Crippling oil sanctions on Iran and crushed their resources to a level that nobody ever thought possible. and the funding from terror. They had 70 billion, think of this, in the bank. And when I left, they were broke. They were stone cold broke. China don't buy, none of you.
And again, what are you talking about? And then he says they had 70 million in the bank. He's talking about the payment that we intercepted. I believe that's what he's talking about. That's not all the money that Iran had. They had more money than that. Like, that's just some of the money that they had that got intercepted. $70 billion. Like, that's Iran has more money than that total. You feel me? Like, and he's this idiot sitting here saying,
When I left, they were totally broke, but now in a matter of 3 years, they've become wealthy again.
like, no, they didn't, bro. That didn't happen. When you left, Iran had as much money as they had because America doesn't control their economy. We stole their money. We intercepted their money, and we've been holding it ransom for political purposes, for political and geopolitical and military purposes. When I left, they were totally broke. Like, this dude doesn't know anything, bro. Like, he doesn't know shit. And, you know, like, nobody knows everything, but this man knows nothing.
They were desperate to make a deal. They were stone cold broke. 70 billion, think of this, in the bank. And
they had 70 billion in the bank. Like, what are you talking? No, that, what do you mean?
When I left, they were broke. They were stone cold broke. China don't buy, none of you buy. They were desperate to make a deal. We would have had a deal within 1 week after the election if the election weren't rigged. We would have.
We got another one from Lady Punchy. Thank you. Hold on. Okay, you said PH the F. Yes, indeed. Thank you again for the $2 super chat. For another one. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Now let's get back to this fool, Donald Trump.
1 week after that election. And we did that through strength, not through weakness. But Crooked Joe surrendered my tough sanctions almost immediately. And Iran now has much more than $100 billion to finance terror all over.
Bro, like,
Now they have 100 billion.
bro, Iran has more money than $100 billion. Like, what are you talking about? When I left, they had nothing. He said
They had $70 billion in the bank, and then when I left, they had nothing. They were stone cold broke, and now they have $100 billion.
like, bro, like, what are you talking about? Like, they've been had that. Bro, he's such an idiot. Now they have $100 billion. They already had that much money
Over the world, including the United States and certainly including Israel. As president, I withdrew from the anti-American, anti-Israel, anti-Semitic UN Human
Lady fucking T.
Rights Council. Withdrew. And while others talk about...
Nah, I see. It's Lady fucking T. Nah, I get it. I don't know why I said what I said before. Lady fucking T. There we go.
Stopping funding for Hamas and the Palestinian Authority. I actually did it. I stopped. I said, wait a minute. You just said death to America, didn't you? You said death. Remember, they came into Washington to meet me. They went back. I thought it was a nice...
Oh, we got the letter hack in the building. What's going on, my brother? I'm going to be on with the letter hack soon, too. Y'all stay tuned for that. Shout out to Soul Life. But yeah, nah, man, what's going on, brother? How you doing today? I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Meeting, to be honest. They were very nice. And then they went back. I said, that's not the same group I left. They went back and they said, death to America, death to Israel. So I said, really? We stopped immediately funding the $700 million. That moment, I said, stop funding them. And we did, immediately. They leave and they say, death to America, and then we pay. And by the way, they were saying it for years, and people just kept paying them $742 million a year. It's a lot of money. After decades of broken promises by past leaders, I kept my promise, recognized Israel's eternal capital, and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. I actually got the building built, too. Got it built. They've been talking about that for a long time, Miriam. That's what you and that great man, that's what you wanted, right? And we got it built. You know, we got it built.
Okay. Right. Look, like, here's the thing. I just looked up. There have only been 10 former U.S. presidents who were unable to win second terms, and that's pretty significant. That means most presidents have at least two terms because you already have all the resources behind you. You have all the momentum. You have all the collateral. You have everything to propel you into victory. And Donald Trump is one of 10 presidents, just 10 people out of 46 out of 46 people that haven't won re-election. And he's sitting up here acting like, like, I mean, if you're so amazing and you're so great, then why did you lose to Joe Biden of all people, too? Because, people don't hate Joe Biden, but people don't love him. What was I going to say? No, I didn't mean to say that. People don't hate him, but people don't even like, people aren't that enamored with him. People aren't that excited about Joe Biden. And you lost to him. So you must not be that big of a deal to be one of 10 people to lose re-election in all of United States history.
Supposed to cost $2 billion. We got it done for $500,000. I don't want to sound.
and again, he's such an idiot. He can't keep himself out of trouble, but we'll see what happens with that. All right. America being America, making it easier to get guns. Federal judge blocks California ban on gun shows at county fairs. A federal judge on Monday blocked California's ban on gun shows at county fairs, ruling that the state is violating the rights of sellers and would-be buyers by prohibiting transactions for firearms that can be bought at any gun shop. The decision by U.S. District Judge Mark Holcomb halts enforcement of two state laws, both written by Democratic Senator Dave Min, the San Francisco Chronicle reported. The first, effective January of last year, barred gun shows at the Orange County Fair, and the other, which took effect this year, extended the ban to county fairgrounds on state-owned land. Look, if it's that important, it's just really amazing how easy it is to get weapons here in this country. And if it's so important, then why don't you just go to another city or another county or another town and buy a gun? Why don't you just go get like regular people guns at a gun shop? Like, no. We have to have bazookas and rocket launchers and flamethrowers and shit, at gun shows. It's just it's so ridiculous. The decision by U.S. Judge, I just read that one rather. California's interest in stopping crimes committed with illegal weapons, as important as it is, cannot justify prohibiting the complete sale of lawful firearms at gun shows. Then called Holcomb's injunction shocking and predicted it would be overturned on appeal. Quote, California's vital ban on gun shows at state properties encompassing even our iconic fairground sites serves as a critical line of defense against the unchecked proliferation of firearms, including ghost guns that circumvent essential background checks and traceability, Min said in a statement Monday. Gun shows attract thousands of prospective buyers to local fairgrounds. Money, 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 money. That's all it's about at the end of the day. Under a separate state, well, we can't get in the way. Can't get in the way of Americans making their dollars. Because getting regular weapons at a regular gun store, that's not good enough. Under a separate state law not affected by the ruling, actual purchase of the firearm is completed at a licensed gun store after a 10-day waiting period and a background check. See, I guess that tells you I don't want to wait 10 days. I want to get it. I want it now. I want to shoot this motherfucker as soon as I leave the parking lot. I want to buy this bazooka, and as soon as I go home, I want to shoot this motherfucker. I don't want to wait 10 days. But gun control groups insist the shows pose dangers, making the weapons attractive to children and enabling straw purchases for people ineligible to possess firearms. I'm just laughing because it's just so stupid. Again, there's really nothing new to say. And then you look at stuff like this, like what more criticism can you give? What more can you ask for? How many times do people need to be shown? Or rather, not even people, lawmakers. How many times do lawmakers need to see that the American people overwhelmingly are on board with common sense gun measures? So it is what it is. I know I'm catching up with y'all. Oh, yes, and Kanye is not running. Speaking of Kanye Soul Life, he's not running for president. So we're not gonna. Unfortunately, we won't get to have his genius and his creativity change the world and make it better. You know, unfortunately. Since the Orange County Fair had previously hosted gun shows for 3 decades, Holcomb said there was no historical basis for the state's ban in 2022. Gotta sell them firearms. What shall we do? Now, I don't know how much this is worth, and I don't know if we're gonna see it. Right, facts, exactly, man. Like, damn, man, we're not gonna tie it. Ah, we missing out, man. We're really missing out. Ex-Trump White House lawyer shocks Aaron Burnett by predicting Trump will be sent to jail for violating gag order.
Ty, one other thing I wanted to ask you about, just as a quick follow here before we go, on the point about the gag order. What do you think is
Sure.
next, right? I mean, so the gag order went away for 9 days. It gets reinstated. He says these things about Bill Barr. What he got fined $10,000 for him, that's, pennies. And no matter what his real wealth is, it's still pennies. So where does he end up on this?
Well, the New York judge fined him $10,000. That's in a civil case. That's not as consequential as Judge Chutkan's case. I think Judge Chutkan, prudently allowed Trump to try to persuade her to extend the gag order. She concluded, on the basis of his conduct this week, not to do so. And I think she'll come in
He was like, here, bro, I'm about to leave. Just hold on to this.
with a much heavier penalty, and ultimately, I think he'll, spend a night or a weekend in jail.
Wow.
I think it's going to take that. I think it will take that to stop him.
Wow, that'll be an incredible thing to actually see happen. But you think?
Yeah, if he keeps breaking gag orders, it's either that or they just keep fining him more money. And and at the end of the day, he still has to beat these cases, which he's not. He's not going to beat 91 federal charges. But the problem with Donald Trump, not that there's just one, there are many problems with Donald Trump, is him going to jail. Oh yeah, anybody else would have been put in jail. And again, if he does get put in jail, then he had many chances not to be. But the thing about Trump is that'll just make him worse. Like I don't think that would calm him down. Maybe it would for a second, but he would absolutely lose it. He'd come out and keep playing the victim because he's a one-trick pony. He don't know how to do nothing else except play the victim. But we'll have to see what's up. We'll have to see. I don't know if he's actually gonna get thrown in jail, but if he doesn't shut up, maybe he will. But we'll see. but what Trump really needs to worry about is prison more than jail. But either way, everything that's happening to him. I'm gonna open this up for sure. So apparently some stuff was up with like DeSantis and his shoes or whatever. Oh, y'all can't even see what I'm opening up. My bad. Y'all can't even see it. But Ron DeSantis wearing high heels or something like that, which who cares? But it's always fun to get on old Ron DeSantis. And Donald Trump ain't said nothing about Ron DeSantis in a long time because his campaign's over. Man, the Republican Party really is a cult, isn't it? Now let's see how high he is when he says that. They want to throw my father in jail. They want to throw my father in jail for 1,000 years, and he's always nasally.
Don, before we let you go, there's some word that a couple of prosecutors, I believe it was New York, or maybe others, who are asking I guess I heard Eric Trump they want him to testify. Have they asked you to testify, and Ivanka as well, and will you?
Yeah, I'm going in, I believe, on Wednesday. So, we get to continue yet another sham. We've seen the bias. We've seen, Michael Cohen lie under oath, literally get caught, literally perjured himself in front of, admitted perjury beyond what he'd already went to prison for. The star witness isn't, that doesn't matter. It shows you what happens when you're in a kangaroo court, Eric. It doesn't matter what the rules are. It doesn't matter what the Constitution says. It doesn't matter what general practices in business would be. It doesn't matter. They have a narrative. They have an end goal, and they'll do whatever it takes to get there. Think about it. The key witness, the people they hinged all over their stuff, got literally caught perjuring himself again after doing prison time for doing that, lying to Congress again, admitting it on a stand. And it's like, oh, well, no, that's great. He's a perfectly credible witness. This is what we're up against. Again, I think the people understand that. They see what Joe Biden's doing. You see the checks. You see the wire transfers. You wonder why the grandchildren are getting checks from the Chinese government. Those are all reasonable questions, and yet no one asks them.
No one asked them. That's why the whole Republican Party asked those questions every single day, but nobody asked those questions. That's why we shouldn't pay any attention to Donald Trump. It's a kangaroo court unless they're letting us off completely scot-free. So.
I'm sure your marketing team points out how they're trying to troll you in the marketplace. Okay, I'm sure they're doing that. Can you bring this one clip? I know you were on, what do you call it?
Yeah, nah, man. Hey, but him and Kimberly Guilfoyle, both of them, man, they be on drugs, bruh. Like every time I see Kimberly Guilfoyle, she just looks, she just looks like she's miserable. Like I don't know what she be on, but yeah, Donald Trump Jr. he be on coke for real. Cause I take Ritalin pretty much every day. And y'all know I used to do coke all the time. And man, he be turned up. That dude be high, man. Motherfucker gonna go into cardiac arrest at some point, like for real.
On what was it? Bill Maher, and Bill Maher talked about the boots. I've seen you walk with these boots. Go ahead and play this clip. This on TikTok went viral. It doesn't have 1 million views. It doesn't have 10 million views. This thing's got 1.2 million likes. And some people are wondering
what are they? I don't even I haven't seen that.
They've not shown this to you. Okay, no. What they're trying to say with this is that in your boots you have heels.
No.
That's what they're trying to say.
Those are just standard off the rack Lucchese.
How tall are you? How tall are you, Governor?
Mary, what kind of thank you for the super chat. What kind of currency is that? Where are you located? What is that? I actually Politoscope is no longer up and running. The application is no longer up and running, but I'm currently in developments of putting together some voting assistance pages and stuff like that. So go ahead and send me an email and let me know what's up. Let me know what you do and stuff like that, and I'll get back to you. I'm putting my email in here right now. Yeah, go ahead and let's see. Yeah, Mary, go ahead and send me an email for that. But what kind of what kind of currency is this? I don't even know what this is. Where are you located? Oh yeah, but yeah, go ahead and email me. Let's talk. All right.
How tall?
5'11".
5'11". Okay. Why don't you wear tennis shoes and dress shoes?
I do wear tennis shoes when I work out. Yeah, 100%.
You do?
Yep.
Okay. I got a gift for you. I'd love for you to wear, okay, I shop at Ferragamo, okay, and
I don't accept gifts. I can't accept it.
I totally get it.
I'm sorry.
He can't accept the gift. No, but thank you, Mary. Thank you so much for the super chat. Again, I'm an ignorant American, so I have no clue how much money you just sent me. I have absolutely no idea. But thank you so much for the support. Thank you for tuning in. And yes, please send me an email. I'll get back to you. We'll see what's up. Because again, the platform itself is down, but the service that Politiscope delivered is still needed, and also still available and in the works in a variety of ways. So please contact me. But thank you so much. All right, let's see. George Conway. Man, Patrick Bet David. Man, he's really done some great interviews, but he just seems to man, he's just like on a super hard he's just on a super hard right-wing grift. Like his stuff is pretty cringe at this point. George Conway says Trump is going to have to liquidate everything, including places like Mar-a-Lago.
Adult children are all going to testify over the next 9 days. You've followed him a long time. I mean, you've watched him. How do you think this is all impacting him psychologically?
Well, you can see it. You can see it in the clips. He's making mistakes. He's babbling incoherently even more than usual. This is really striking, as your intro pointed out, at the heart of his persona. I mean, this is who he was. He was the mogul. He was the mogul with The Apprentice, and he's been that in New York for 50 years. And now it's coming crashing down. He's already been found to have committed fraud, that that his books and records, his statements of financial condition are false, and the judge has already ruled that there was no triable issue of fact on whether or not they were false. And as a result, the judge ordered that the Trump's and the Trump organization's ability to do business in the state of New York should be invalidated. And that puts him out of business, which means he's going to have to liquidate everything, including places like Mar-a-Lago, which are owned by New York LLCs. But then the question of, well, how much of the proceeds of those sales, when he has to be put out of business, go to the state of New York? And that's what this is about. And it tells you a lot.
Yeah,
what tells you a lot here is the witness list. Who's calling these witnesses?
Yes.
The state is calling Eric, Don Jr., Ivanka, and Donald himself, which tells you something. They don't have a story. They don't have a story to explain the two sets of books that Alan Weisselberg kept, where you were reporting one thing to the tax authorities, reporting another thing to banks, or for bragging purposes. And the documents, that, as the judge said in his opinion, it's a document case, and the documents, some of the documents had lies, but they don't lie about the fact that they show that it was all fake.
All of it. So let's go just back to what could potentially happen here. Because when you just said Mar-a-Lago could be liquidated, I think people might be like, wait, what? Because isn't he rich? He's already been convicted of fraud here, but what the total size of this? It sounds like your belief is that he could have to sell a lot of his assets. Yeah. He doesn't have liquid funding to pay this.
Right. He can't. In other words, he cannot operate a business in the state of New York if Justice Engoron's decision so far stands. He will lose his certificate to the extent he has foreign corporations or foreign entities, meaning out-of-state entities, doing business in New York. Their right to do business in New York is canceled, as is the certificates of incorporation of the various LLCs and companies that he himself owns that are incorporated in New York. So he can't do business. And then, the answer is that the result will be everything's put into receivership and has to be sold. And obviously the shareholders will get their money, except to the extent that this trial finds that some of the money should go to the state. So this is a this is a death blow to Trump's businesses.
Huge.
Yeah, and then one of the points that is brought up a lot too, and I'm pretty sure he said in here, are his creditors. You feel me? Like Trump is screwed, man. He's in such a terrible position. And then one of the things that I've been pointing out is, nobody who's worth a damn wants to work with Donald Trump. Like, I mean, look at his attorneys. Like, he doesn't pay people, and his brand is just so toxic and negative. Donald Trump is not a good look on anybody's resume. So who the hell is really gonna want to campaign with this dude in a general election? And he still has 91 federal charges to beat, which isn't happening. And he's in the process of losing everything that he has when it comes to money and business and what have you. So like we haven't even really begun to see this dude crumble and lose it. We're just now starting to see it happen. Billionaire GOP donor. Trump is a divisive human being who belongs in jail. Isn't this the dude that was crying on CNBC because, like, you know, because it's so hard for billionaires or something like that? It was something like that. He was on CNBC and he was like, "I care. I don't. Taxes should be lower for me." Like, it was something like that. Billionaire investor Leon Cooperman, who has almost exclusively donated to Republicans throughout his career, recently issued a stern rebuke of former President Donald Trump. In an interview with CNN, the Republican mega donor, who has most recently backed former New Jersey governor and prominent Trump critic Chris Christie, acknowledged that he very reluctantly voted for Joe Biden in 2020. However, he also warned voters of the dangers of a second Trump term. And again, look, the reality is that Leon Cooperman and anyone like him, not that they in 2020 they had more to gain with Donald Trump. I mean, with Joe Biden. And in 2024, they got more to gain with Joe Biden too, because Joe Biden isn't some kind of raging progressive who's gonna, you know, fundamentally change everything. He said he wasn't gonna do it. He isn't gonna do it. And Donald Trump is just a complete and utter disaster. So once again, you know, it's pretty much the same thing. Let's see. It would be terrible for the country if Donald Trump were reelected, Cooperman said. He's a divisive human being who belongs in jail. Cooperman, who is chairman and CEO of the hedge fund Omega Advisors, said that Biden and Trump were both bad choices. He added that if the major party nominees were Joe Biden and Donald Trump in 2024, he probably wouldn't vote at all. He's going to vote for Joe Biden. I'm looking for centrists. Not radical left or right. He's going to vote for Joe Biden again. Dude, shut up. If you voted for him once, you're going to vote for him again. If you like, get out of here, bro. I'm looking for centrist, not a radical left. No one thinks that he's radical left except Fox News viewers. Don't nobody think this dude is some type of raging leftist. Oh yeah, I do remember that when Billionaires Cried. That he was in that, and it was like some piano keys playing, and he was like, "I care," or something like that. Yeah, I remember that. Mm-mm. Mara, I've just read that. Hope everything goes well at your appointment, and we will all see you tomorrow as well. Hope everything goes well. All right, let's see. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, and again, more this is going to happen more and more because, you know, people have eyes. People have eyes. People have ears. People can see Donald Trump going through what he's going through. You know, so all right. What we got now? Candy Owie. Candace Owens. What's she up to now? What is she up to now? Oh. Here we go. My bad, y'all. Candace Owens calls Native Americans drug addicts and cannibals while denying she's just, and again, she, like, you can't even really get mad at Candace, especially not now, because it's like, ugh, you just know what's up with her. You know she's just a big grift. You know she's not serious. You feel me? So it's just like, I mean, we were watching a video of her a few weeks ago, and she was like, "I grew out of music. When I was young and immature, I used to really like music." Like, oh, and then you grew up, and now you're too mature for that. Like, she's lame. She's a fucking loser. She's whack. Candace Owens is whack.
I'm wondering, there are dozens of words for two-spirited people, people that would now be considered LGBTQ or trans people in the native languages. So I'd like to know how, as these people have existed for thousands of years before you were alive or anyone else in this room was alive, and before anyone even colonized America. If trans people were around then, I'm just wondering why you think it is that trans people are only here now because the media is telling people these things.
Well, do you think it's weird that I graduated with 0 trans people? What do you think has contributed to the explosion of transgender people from the time that I was in high school? I'll ask you a question back. If this was just a natural thing, and I don't know what you're talking about with two-spirit people, is this like a Native American tribe, like high, smoking, and talking about your spirit? I'm asking you seriously, because when I think of Native American tribes talking about their spirits, I know that they used to smoke a lot, they used to do drugs, they also were cannibals who used to eat people, so I don't know if we should be taking our cues from cannibals. But
I think
can you
that's
explain
kind
to me
of
what two
ridiculous.
She said they got high and they were cannibals. Like, bruh, like what? Like, you know how many different kinds of Native Americans there were? And I mean, they're still around, but not really. Not really. Like, bro, there was so many different kinds of Native Americans, and cannibalism is something that human beings do sometimes, but not that much. Like, it's like, oh, before the Europeans came over here, these motherfuckers was just doing shrooms and eating each other. That's all they was doing. She She's just, oh God, she's just whack. She's so lame.
Spirit is in the history?
There are people that would now be considered trans people that did not feel that they fit
What
the binary
part though?
gender.
Native Americans? I'm asking you.
Yes, I'm telling you that not only in one Native American tribe, but in multiple tribes, there were dozens of terms that referred to people that would now be considered trans, and that was hundreds of years ago. So I'm just wondering why you think that people are only trans now because the media is telling them to be.
Well, I told you, because of the proliferation. So you can't just go from having 0% to suddenly 25%
Right, but what
of
I'm
people.
saying is that these.
But again, it's not. What is she basing the 0% on? Like, what are you talking about? Motherfuckers been cross-dressing, and people have been cross-dressing, doing drag shows, and people have been trans. You can look back in history books and just look at pictures of people at drag shows. Like, it's, what do you mean? Like, it went from 0% to all of a sudden. Well, in my graduating class, there weren't any trans people. Like, one, are you certain about that? And two, your singular graduating class is, she's
People were around for thousands of years.
Well, what you're saying is that some Native American tribes had people that would be considered trans today,
People that
something that we can't
were
fact
trans.
check because they're dead.
It's
right?
historical knowledge.
It's historical
documented.
knowledge that there were trans Native Americans.
Yes.
I really don't think that's historical knowledge. But here's what I'll answer. I don't think that there were
she's, bruh, she's like stale, man. This shit is old. Like, this shit is getting old. Like, I mean, I don't, what is she, obviously she's gonna do this forever, and there's really absolutely nothing else she can do. You know, she can't really do any other grift, but it's just getting old. Like, do people really want to watch Candace do this when she's 45, 50 years old? Like, you know, like, I don't know. I mean, maybe they will, they probably will, but she's just like, this shit is tired, man. It's so stupid. All right, what's up with this? Morning Joe airs brutal montage of recent Trump gaffes, like an Ali G skit.
Does that mean that if Russia attacks my country, you will not be there? That's right. That's what it means. I will not protect you. Viktor Orban. Did anyone ever hear of him? He's probably like one of the strongest leaders anywhere in the world, and he's the leader of, right? He's the leader of Turkey. He's very strong, as you know, from Hungary. and he's the boss. There's no doubt about it. Hungary fronts on both Ukraine and Russia. If you spill a drop of American blood, we will spill a gallon of yours. You know, Hezbollah is very smart. They're all very smart. Hezbollah and Hamas. Hamas, has anyone ever heard of? Hamas terrorists. I want a shield over our country. If you don't like our religion, then we don't want you in our country, and you are not getting in. What happened yesterday was incredible. I mean, so many people killed. Very big number. Very, very big. Vicious, too. Vicious. Young children just.
We've already seen pretty much all of this. Hold up now. Chris Christie with some remarks on Mark Meadows. He says he's going to be convicted. It's over.
What do you think? You've known Donald a long time like us. Do you think when he gets up there and he freaks out, he can't remember Joe Biden's name? I mean, because you see him struggling.
Yeah.
And by the way, Biden does it too.
Yep.
So Biden does it too. So people, whenever you say this, go, well, Biden does it. Well, yeah, okay, he does. They're both old men, and they're both doing it. But he keeps saying he's running against Barack Obama, and you see him struggling up there, trying to remember what decade he's in. And he just, what do you think it's the pressure of,
just no
of
comparison.
91 counts?
Well, I think
what do you think it is?
Yeah, I think it's the stress of what he knows is coming in his criminal problems. And I think this week, because a lot of that stuff was from the last week.
Yeah.
That's all post Mark Meadows. And I think everybody that's watching needs to understand, from somebody who did this work for 7 years, you don't give Mark Meadows immunity unless the evidence he has is unimpeachable.
Oh, yeah.
And I said this yesterday. I want Republican voters to understand this. What's going to be happening in March? He's going to be sitting in a courtroom in Washington, D.C., with Mark Meadows 20 feet away from him, saying he committed crimes in front of me on my watch. Not some rogue prosecutor,
I want to stop you a second.
He's a former prosecutor.
He's a former prosecutor. I want to stop you right there, and I want to underline what I've said, because we have a lot of Democrats watching this show, but as I'm sure you know, we have a lot of Republicans that are watching this show. And I just want to say to my Republican friends that are watching, everybody that's testifying against Donald Trump, they're not editorial writers for the New York Times or primetime hosts at MSNBC. They are all Trumpers who stayed with Trump to the very end.
Yeah. Look, this is a guy who was Velcroed to Trump's hip for the entire 2020 campaign and all the post-campaign nonsense. And so this is deadly. It's done. He's going to be convicted.
But
it's over.
Can't he run for president and put delay, and get out of it?
Well, I don't think he can delay it. No, I don't have the impression that this district court judge in Washington is amenable to delay.
It's a March 4th.
She seems pretty.
So it's a March 4th trial right now.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Maybe give or take a month. You think the judge may?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it starts in April. Maybe not though. I mean, look, she has not given much at this point into the defense claims for delay. And I think that's why Jack Smith indicted this case with just Trump.
Right.
Because you don't have multiple defendants.
Yes.
This is it. He left 6 unindicted co-conspirators, not because he doesn't think they committed crimes, but because he learned from the documents case. Like, I think he made a mistake in the documents case.
By the way, they can bring cases against those other 6 later on if they don't cooperate.
As long as it's within the statute of limitations, they can.
So let me ask you this question. So let's say the trial is in mid-March, lasts a month. He's convicted by mid-April, and you look at least the evidence we know, it looks like it's an uphill battle for the defense. I know Trump's people are saying, we'll appeal. It's a D.C. Circuit judge, right? It's a judge. It'll go to the D.C. Circuit, then the Supreme Court. They're going to expedite this, aren't they? This is not going to be like a year.
I think they would. But remember, once you're convicted by a jury, you're convicted.
Right.
So he's going to have all kinds of new restrictions placed on him as now a convicted felon.
Okay,
in terms of his travel, his speech, all the things he can do. Right now he's out on bail, let's remember.
Right.
And once you're convicted, you have the right to remand him immediately if you wanted to.
Well, a former president, though?
No, I don't think they will. But the point is that when that's the extreme alternative,
right,
you could place all kinds of restrictions on him and say, you don't like those? Okay, we'll send you
stay
to jail.
home or stay home.
It could be house arrest.
Ankle bracelet.
There's a whole bunch of things that could happen in terms of what he can do, where he can travel. He's going to have to go to probation to get permission to travel.
What's he convicted of?
Well, he'll be in the January 6th case. He's going to be convicted of obstructing Congress. That the actions that he took was obstructing Congress. That's the main and biggest charge that he's going to wind up being convicted of. And I think that Meadows, from what we're reading and being told he's going to say, and it makes sense to me, knowing what was going on then in the White House, is that everyone with any credibility was telling him it wasn't stolen. You didn't lose. You lost. You didn't win. And that's everybody. That's Meadows. That's Pat Cipollone. That's Bill Barr.
Right.
That's Bill Stepien, his campaign manager. Everybody has testified that they were telling him, you lost. There's nothing here. Add to it that they filed 60 lawsuits to try to challenge the results, and they went over 60.
Right.
And you got to get to state of mind.
Right, this dude, bro, if this was a conspiracy against Trump, this is the most well-coordinated conspiracy ever in history. These people lost 60 court cases. Bro, that's so many L's. That's so many L's. All right, let's see what's up. Trump blurts out, enraged, crying dead of night, 4:24 a.m. Truth social media outburst with 91 felony charges. Oh, over his charges. Okay, so this is the first one. It went out at about 1 a.m. He said in all caps,
Radical left judge taking away my right to free speech in order to help crooked Joe Biden in his third world election interference scam. As good as this sounds, it won't work.
why don't you just shut up? How about that? And then he said,
Remember, crooked Joe Biden and his radical left thugs waited 3 years to bring these indictments and lawsuits against me right in the middle of my campaign.
nobody cares, bro. At 4:24 a.m., he shouted into the blackness of the social media night sky.
Election interference.
I like how they painted that picture. Then suddenly, at 4:24 a.m., Trump shouted into the blackness of the social media night sky.
Election interference.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Man. What is going on, man? Right, exactly right. All his tweets. Oh my God. All right. So lastly, we got this guy, John Miller, who like threatened, right, his 4:30 a.m. poetry slam. That's what that was. Who is John Miller? Man faces federal charges for threatening Nevada senator with anti-Semitic messages. Oh, look at him. He's all, oh, you sad you got caught. This dude targeted a senator, and he said on October 17th, what he said, you done picked your side, bitch, and you done chose evil. I don't give a fuck if you were born into it or not, bitch. You are fucking evil, and we're gonna exterminate you. And now look at the boy. Look at the man's up here. Now he's like, oh, I thought you was about it, man. I thought you was about it. All right. And they was like, no, sir. God, look at this. All these fucking lies in your fucking hands. You fucking bitch, and I'm gonna fucking see you soon. You fucking sell out fucking F-word bitch. Oh God, this dude was going off.
Some breaking news is into us now with the Justice Department saying they've arrested and charged somebody for making anti-Semitic threats against a sitting senator in his home state of Nevada, as we are just now confirming from Senator Jackie Rosen's office that it was in fact her. John Anthony Miller, arrested apparently on Thursday on one count of threatening a federal official, with court documents laying out a series of disturbing voicemails he left at her office, including one that refers to finishing, I'm quoting here, what Hitler started. NBC's Sahil Kapoor is joining us now. It is awful, the threats that were made to Senator Rosen, who is, I believe, only the third female Jewish senator to serve in Congress right now. What else do we know about these allegations here? What else do you know about what we're hearing from Senator Rosen, who I understand our team just caught up with in the hallways?
That's right, Hallie. We know this man is 43 years old. He was arrested on October 26th. He made his initial court appearance the following day on October 27th. He left multiple threatening voicemails this month, according to the Justice Department. They were of a menacing and anti-Semitic nature, according to court documents. He was arrested on threatening to assault, kidnap, or murder the United States senator with intent to impede, intimidate, or interfere with their official duties. Now, Senator Jackie Rosen spoke just moments ago to our colleague Frank Thorpe, confirmed that it was indeed her who was the recipient of this. And by the way, the Justice Department didn't name her, but she is confirming to us that it was her. She said, quote, "We have to always take the threat seriously." She went on to say she has full faith in the Justice Department that they'll take care of the situation, and noted that she only saw the indictment herself today for the first time. She added that this is what Jews all around the world are facing in light of recent events, the escalating situation in the Middle East. Now, a few things about Senator Rosen that might, shed light on why she was targeted in this manner. She served as the president of Nevada's largest synagogue before getting elected senator. She's the third female Jewish senator in American history, the co-founder and co-chair of a bipartisan task force for combating anti-Semitism. That is the name of the group, as well as the Abraham Accords Caucus in the Senate. Hallie?
Sahil Kapoor live for us there on Capitol Hill. Sahil, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
All right. It appears that is what we doing for the day. I was looking at stuff, and a lot of the other it's a lot of the other stuff is things that we've already covered. So, thank you everybody so much for joining me today for today's live stream. I'm gonna hit up Ray. I think Ray and I will probably do our bit tomorrow. I got other stuff I need to do this afternoon. I think Ray and I will do our show tomorrow. But Saturday, Saturday mornings, we had a really good time this past Saturday at 11. Kyle and I for Nerd News. We're gonna do it again on Saturday. Just like back in the day, your Saturday morning cartoons. Go ahead and join us. Thank you to everybody for everything, man. I appreciate all of y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Spark up. Y'all have a fantastic afternoon, and I will see y'all tomorrow, man. I really appreciate y'all, man. All right. I love and appreciate y'all, man.